so much, Marcela, for joining me on my channel. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're probably super busy, but yeah, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's great that we have known each other for so many years, and I think this is the first time that we have ever spoken, like directly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
cool.
for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think I've been a fan of yours since the DeviantArt days. I mean, I was kind of
Same.
yeah,
Same.
I was blown away by your work. I mean, even back then, like your stuff was kind of like beyond my like realm of like I just couldn't even I didn't even know how to do that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, I was always a fan. And before we start, I just wanted to say congratulations on getting your German driver's license.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. What a nightmare. Wow. Yeah, I feel like I deserve the citizenship right now. It's like so difficult. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done here. It's too much. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I actually have a friend, an American friend who lives in Germany, and he's like still trying to get his license.
Oh
Like,
my God. Yeah, I can believe it. I can completely believe it. I've known people that give up or they don't pass the theory test because it's really hard too, especially if you do it in German. It's like it's so many steps and it's so expensive here. So I hope that authorities regulate that price because it's just too much. It is not only difficult, it's too pricey right now. So yeah, it got out of control. So yeah, I feel like I accomplished something really amazing here. But yeah, nobody cares, of course.
yeah, yeah. So I know when did you start like like doing art? You can go back as far as you want. I don't know. Like when did you start creating?
Yeah, well, like everyone else in their childhood, painting, drawing, and it never stopped. My parents were very nurturing in that side of not only reading books and getting inspired by books, by movies, by music, but also like every interest that I had, my parents were very nurturing. And then I just kept doing it. Just kept doing it when I painted and draw at that time, I started to play with photography, analog photography, and then digital photography. Digital photography for me was like everything. Oh, but even before that, it was the scanner. Everything that I painted in my drawings went through the scanner, and I tried to manipulate all of that in my computer. And it just, the flow of it just went through the years, all those nights that I spent manipulating stuff that I had done in my paintings, the drawings, in the even the analog pictures that I could scan. I do remember that the scanner was a big thing at the beginning of everything. And then, of course, I discovered Photoshop. I don't remember the first version of Photoshop that I used. Maybe 7,
Okay.
maybe the 7th one, or even the CS. I don't know. Yeah, I was in between those, like the CS, Creative Suite, and that one. And yeah, I discovered a way with photography and painting and drawing that I really enjoyed. Like, I I had a lot of ideas, and little by little I discovered the workflow that I really enjoyed, and it was exciting to me because I didn't know at the time what was what was happening at the end, what was the result, So yeah, that was very exciting. It was a very cool time. Every time that I think about that time, I get very, yeah, that is how it should be, that the experiments, the workflow, just discovering how you do stuff. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of digital artists that kind of, because I followed a similar path where I was like, I always drew and painted, and I took courses in college to like life drawing and things like that. But digital, with the addition to like like you said, scanning, taking your
Yeah.
own photos, it's almost like you were able to kind of like show the audience what you really intended, because like sometimes your skill level at drawing wasn't to that point, and with digital tools you're able to kind of do that, especially with photography, like posing and all that stuff. So yeah, I totally get that, because that's the same thing with me, is like digital was a lot easier to kind of put my ideas out there and get them the way I want them to look, instead of going through years of life drawing and becoming a fine artist or something like that.
It was, and I was actually very with photography. I realized what I was really attracted to when I painted, and it's about shadows and light, and that was what I was really attracted to, and what I always strive to. It's making compositions through that, through textures that um, how they look in the light, and how they look in the light and in the middle tones and everything. And that's what photography is about, and that is what I like about photography. But at the same time, I felt very limited with photography. I mean, come on, I had a like a 1 pixel camera at the time, so I liked how things looked because I liked to manipulate the light in my photos. But of course, the hardware wasn't there still. The technology wasn't there still, so I started to paint over that, and then that became like a legit technique then in the industry. I had no idea of that. It was just how I did things, but that was why it was so important to me to take my own pictures and yeah, make my own stuff. Yeah, but I never thought that there were rules about making art then. And now I think, yeah, if your ideas are there and you put the effort, yeah, it is you there. So that's good.
Yeah, I think because looking at your art, I'm not gonna lie, like there are numerous pieces of my own that I've like tried to look at your art and go like, okay, how can I like replicate what you do? Because you have
How did
this
you do that?
like you were saying, you're in the early days with your limitations on like quality of cameras and all, so you ended up painting, and that was something that I really like about your work. It's like there's like this painterly kind of effect that you put, and it blends everything, it makes everything cohesive. And I don't know what the hell you do, but it's just like so like, I mean, it looks like traditional art, it looks like an actual painting. I've always like just I'm always in awe of like your work, like just like your combining all your kind of botanical like flowers and plants and all that stuff. And that was another question, is I know you're raised in Colombia, or you lived in Colombia for a long time, right? You're born in Brazil?
Yeah, I was born there. I spent part of my childhood there, and then yeah, but my parents are Colombian and pretty much Colombian, just born in Brazil. Yeah.
Okay. So how much of the environment, like the kind of the tropical environment of Colombia, was like inspiration for your artwork? Because I know obviously you're like you use a lot of flowers and plants and things like that.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize how radical that inspiration was until I was here in Germany, because it wasn't a shock to understand and be inspired by the nature here, but I did realize how different the nature here is. Here is so quiet, homogeneous, so it is not monotonous. It's just very harmonious. It's pretty to look at. But in Colombia, yeah, flora and plants are completely wild, and you have to actively fight flora there, because if not, they take over everything. So
Yeah.
you're constantly trying to, like, flora there, and plants are like very alive beings, and very different, coexisting or taking over, and pretty much a lot of plants that I realized that I thought were from Colombian and from the Ecuador and in South America. I they were Asian species that were introduced in Colombia, and that blew my mind, because that made me question a lot of what I thought it was home, or what I visually identified as home. And that actually inspired my whole master thesis, my relationship visually, and what I felt, all my sensation, what I what I appreciated about nature, how it made me feel, and what I thought it was natural, and what is actually artificial between the natural there. And because it is in a region that it has a lot of fertile ground, anything goes, and you see a lot of stuff, and you take as granted. And when you are here, you realize that it's just not like that in the world.
Yeah.
So I did realize that all my work at that time was between trying to convey a tension between what I felt was artificial and what I felt was natural, and all that tension between that, and me as a rational human against nature, being surrounded by it, coexisting with in a symbiosis with it, or being taken over, being bested by nature and wild wilderness and all of that. So yeah, I just realized that when I was here, like everything before that, I knew what I wanted, but it was very from my gut. It wasn't so thoughtful, which is good too, But it comes a time when you have to analyze what you like, what you like, and that is what happened after I came here. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like your signature. Even like I know you've done some recent book covers, and I'm assuming you took some references in Germany, because like the trees are different, and like I guess the concept is a little bit different too. But it's
Yeah,
also you doing book covers for different people. They have different ideas, I guess. That was another thing is when at what point did you like start thinking, oh hey, I can do my artwork and I can get paid for it and make it a career? Was it something that kind of, were you searching it out, or did someone reach out to you, say, hey, I want you to do my book cover, or I want you to do my album cover, or whatever, and it just kind of started like that? Or did you always want to do that?
well, even when I was in school, I knew that I wanted to be an artist. Well, how is it going to make it? I didn't know. I hadn't have no plan at all. But I think it all started in DeviantArt, because when I started to share my stuff, I got contacted, and I was always like, "Yeah, you really want something made for me?" Like I didn't even what? Okay, you really want to print that? Like yeah, but yeah, people were interested, and they gave me freedom, and at that time that was everything because I was studying still. So it started there. Then I started to get like more serious clients, and everything kept going, and if I felt that I was the right fit for some project, I said yes, and yeah, that was it. It was pretty natural, the evolution of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a shock, like in the early stages when you get that email that says, "Hey, I want you to do my book
Yeah.
cover or album cover." You're like, "Really? You want to pay me money to do that?" And it's like, "Huh." And it doesn't like click, and then it just
It's
like,
always funny when they tell you to do an iteration of something that you already did, and you're like, yeah, but I don't know if I can do that again. But yeah, you try your best. But it's fine because most of the times when it's a client that really appreciate your work, they want you to do something that is in your wheelhouse. So it's good. So yeah, it's like in the best cases, it's like they're paying you for doing your own stuff. So okay, they're paying me to do the stuff that I did for free before. So yeah, nice. But
yeah,
yeah, those are the best clients for sure.
yeah. I think that's kind of a sign of, because like in the beginning, I always assumed like you had to be kind of like a jack of all trades to get work, like just
True.
accept any kind of brief and say, "Yeah, I can do that," even though you're like not comfortable. But I think once you kind of develop your own kind of style, people kind of seek that out. They kind of want that unique, what makes the art you, and
For
they like,
sure, things have changed. Yeah, people search for a very distinctive style because every project has its own aesthetic going on, especially because there are a lot more of art directors are going after specific styles and after specific artists, and they know exactly what they need. So yeah, it's kind of different for sure. Yeah, I've never thought myself as a jack of all trades. I couldn't do anything. Like no, yeah, I'm very actually that is something that scares me a lot because yeah, I'm pretty much in my lane. It's like yeah, I just yeah, please don't make me do anything like super architecture and stuff like that. No, yeah, I
"Oh
couldn't. Yeah,
yeah."
it's like no, no. Yeah.
So I've been working from home for the last couple of years. So it's, for me, I always had an office job. I always had to like go somewhere. But I've developed a routine over the last
Mhm.
2 years. Do you have a routine when it comes to like your day? Do you have like a Monday through Friday, like, 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 type thing, and then on the weekends you just take a break, or is it just like, all over the place?
And let me be mysterious. No, I don't know. I just get off bed really late, like out of my coffin, I guess. In summer, it's actually worse because yeah, the sun is like oh yeah, it's always there. It
Oh yeah, it gets
makes
dark
my
late.
everything.
Or
I don't like it at all. Like it's too bright, and I have a lot of plants, so I have to keep them like with light. But I don't like to work with a lot of light, so I try to wake up a little bit later in the day, not in the morning at all. And I try my best to work out because I've been having, the age, I've been having back problems.
yep.
So yeah, that's something that we all have to remember. Like do your workouts, your strength has to be there. Now that we have much nicer weather, we'll try to walk more. But yeah, that's to be planned. Um, After that, I doom scroll a lot. I answer emails, and yeah, I take like 2 coffees after I feel like okay, I can start. Like yeah, I can do it. Then I work like I don't know 3-4 hours, and then I eat something, and then I just keep going because when the night comes, I feel more energized. I don't know what it is, but I feel like yeah, it's my time. Like I just get energized. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I feel.
Yeah, that used to be me back in the day, but now I'm just like I'm such a like afternoon person now. Like, I mean, I'll get up.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because I
can
have to.
I can do that. Yeah. I mean, with this light, I'm practically an afternoon person right now. Yeah, but
Yeah,
in winter, I don't see the sun. It's like great. Yeah, I have the opposite of the seasonal depression stuff. I get I get really annoyed with sun. It really bothers me. It's yeah, it's like I feel it like a noise in my head. And I'm always like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I
Right.
used to live in India, and India is pretty much like besides a monsoon time, it's just
Mm,
always sunny and hot, and like it's almost like you get kind of tired of just it always being sunny. That's kind of like why I like living in California. Like especially where I live in California, we live on the central coast. We get a lot of fog, but then we also get sun. We also get things like that. So it's a
yeah.
nice
Um,
combination of like seasons. But yeah, I totally understand that. Like just
But
getting
you
over.
can feel a lot of the change of the seasons, right? I don't know if in India you feel it that much, but in Colombia, it's always the same because we're practically in the middle of the earth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really set on my schedule there. It was always like, yeah, I get up at this time and I know that the sun will be down at this hour, especially because there are a lot of mountains in Colombia. So you know that by 5 or 6 p.m. it's already dark there. So
Okay.
here it's so different, and especially in April and May before the uh, um, 21st of June, it's like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. with a little bit of sun, and it's too much.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, I have to cope. Yeah, I have to do my stuff anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we, as an artist, we all deal with like deadlines and stress and inspiration. So I know, I always watch your stories on Instagram and I can always relate, like when you have a lot
That's
of
my
work,
drama. Yeah.
don't have enough time in the day to do it all. But how do you deal with that? Because I know like everybody has their ways of, dealing with stress and getting deadlines done.
Well, most of my drama with deadlines is because I say yes to too much stuff, and you have to be mindful of that. You have to understand when you just cannot. It's just that sometimes projects are so exciting to work on that you say yes, 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 and then you realize that you're a human being, and yeah, I just cannot. So that would be like my suggestion to myself, to everyone else. Like really understand your capabilities and how do you want to live your life? Do you want to live your life super stressed all the time? Or do you understand that you will be stressed for some time and then relax, but don't keep it going because it's not sustainable. What I do in the day to day, I mean, I have this thing. I
Switch.
play some stuff and I try to not think anything about it. Sometimes I try to read, but like books, but then the books make me think about the work that I'm doing because I'm doing book covers stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, is this ruining for me reading? It's like, oh no. I try to watch movies, but for sure in summertime I will try just get out or do something else that it's not mm, before a screen, like being in front of a screen. But yeah, with deadlines is that it's like understanding your capabilities and how much yes you can say, and just having a calendar and understanding that, oh yeah, this cannot be done. Of course, there's things like your health or your mental health that comes between that. For me, it was the last year. It was my back. It really took a lot of time to understand what was going on. I conquered that. It's like, okay, everything's fine now, but it was a real problem for my deadlines back then. Uh, um, but it taught me to be really mindful of my body and what I am capable of and what I cannot do. Yeah, just that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I completely relate to the whole back issue because
Yeah.
like prior to me working from home, I used to work for a sign shop for a beer distributor, and that was kind of my first like sit down kind of at the desk job. And I
Mhm.
used to work at like a hardware store, so I'd always be on my feet. And I played music too, and I played drums, and I'd lug heavy equipment. Never had back issues until I started working at the desk, and then
For
that's when all the
sure.
issues started happening.
Yeah, and I bought everything. I bought a standing desk. I bought two new chairs, and until I didn't do strength training, yeah, it didn't help. Like, of course, I couldn't be taking painkillers every day. That is not good. You shouldn't do that. So, yeah, I was like, yeah, I have to understand what is going on. Yeah, it was just exercise. It's not even a lot of exercise. Just move. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I started exercising in the morning, kind of strengthening my core a bit, and it has helped. And also just taking breaks. And I think the older you get, you know, especially if you're going to be working for multiple hours, you just really have to go, okay, I need to like take care of my body, because if I can't do the art, I won't be able to make a living. And so it's an easy decision to make at the end of the day, but it's takes 15 years to realize maybe I should have done this
Yeah,
10.
I know. You know what? This is going to sound so like a mom, but drinking water, like drink a lot more water than
I
you
want it
needed.
right
Yeah,
here.
it's like you have to. Like I discovered that I lasted much more longer hours just drinking water than just drinking coffee. It's like no, she just needs water. Yeah, yeah, I understood that. Like, I'm fine with 3 coffees per day or 4 coffees per day, but much more water than before, and that's it. That's all you need. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, water for me is like I have to have my water like at least like 32 ounces a day, or else all this like, yeah, I
I
can't
don't
get
know
up.
how much that is, but yeah.
Oh yeah, because you have a metric system, right?
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
How like has there been a moment, whether recently or in the past, where you were like you were kind of fed up with your career and you were like considering doing something else just because like you were tired of working with clients or pain in the butt clients, and you're just like, I just want to do something else? Was there a time like that for you?
No, never, because I cannot do anything else. It's like uh, um I cannot see myself even I mean if I have to do something I'll do it to survive for sure, but I cannot see myself in a 9 to 5. Like I cannot. I have friends, of course, and people around my life that has that style of life, and I couldn't. I just cannot see myself there. I can make it work, of course, if I have to do it. Yeah, but it would really be detrimental for me. So every time that I think that, like, I cannot stand this, why? There's always it isn't ever that bad, because if I have a bad client going on, I have a bunch of good clients then going on. So it isn't that the scale isn't ever like, oh no, I quit. No, never. Actually, it's quite the opposite. I'm always really trying to keep my things going on and really grateful for what I have going on, and actually fearful of if anything happens, or yeah, the industry collapses or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm always like very grateful for what is happening now, for sure.
So this will lead into the segue of AI
Yeah.
artwork. I know I'm kind of like I'm very much like, I don't like the way it's going, but I feel like it's inevitable to a certain extent using AI. I mean, not me personally. I have used AI in my day job. So I'm a graphic designer for a music distributor or music promoter, and sometimes I
Okay.
use it to kind of extend photos to fit certain templates. But that's about it. I don't do anything like crazy with it. But
Yeah, well, that's been always there. That's the thing that always confused me about AI, because I knew that when I was using Photoshop, I was using AI some way or another that I didn't understand, like content aware feel and all of that. That is AI. But of course, I had complete control over everything else. So I'm not against technology per se. Of course, not at all. And I think AI has a lot. AI is a neutral technology. It's neutral. It's just people using it around it. That yeah, it's just yeah, and people making profit of it with the lamest things ever. That's it. That is the crappy stuff. But AI is neutral. It's just a technology that is there. But yeah, I've always been very conscious about it when I use Photoshop, that I'm using a technology that is actually helping me to do stuff that I couldn't do quicker if I was a traditional artist, for sure. And if I am fearful of it, yeah, for sure. It's just that actually, when I feel every time that I have a personal relationship or an artistic relationship with the art directors that I work with the people that I collaborate with, the more that I feel AI couldn't do this. AI couldn't do the things that the art directors ask for me, the versions that they ask for me, the slight nuances that they ask for of my work, like please make this more melancholic, or this thing has to look a little bit more exciting or young or something like that. um all of that, I don't know how an AI could replace, especially because of the human contact, and they expect you to be you if you have your own style by now. But right now I feel that that cannot be replaced, but I am sure that years will pass and that will be a thing of the past for sure. I don't know. And artist right now, very young artist, I have no clue what is going to happen. I just gave up trying to look in the future of it, because things are going to change radically. I don't know how, but I am sure that there will be artists that do their own stuff with their hands, with their minds, with everything. I am sure of it. But things are going to change, and how we appreciate art, it's going to change for sure. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's gonna sort of, plateau, and kind of people are gonna be like, okay, because people are already online. You can see like, oh, is this AI artwork? Like, I don't support that, and I want real artists. So there's already a little bit of a backlash. But
Yeah, the thing is that right now it's kind of in it's just a novelty, and people are getting over it because it looks stale and just not aesthetic. But there will be more and more novelties going and going and going. I wonder how much that can last. So yeah, I don't know. I try to not pay a lot of attention to it.
yeah, I'm kind of the same. It gets kind of tiring trying to
Yeah.
defend being
Mhm.
a real artist or whatever, and just
Like,
I just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna do what I've always been
yeah,
doing. And
like you know what I do already. Like I do. Like if whoever accuses me of using AI, like whatever, I don't care. Just yeah, go along. Yeah, I don't care.
So, so I know you went to. Did you go to? You went to college in Colombia, and then you went to when you came to Germany. You also went to college as well, right, for photography?
Yes, I studied graphic design in Colombia, and then I went to I came to Germany to study photography. But more uh, as an analysis of the medium itself, and what it meant to use photography to do what I do, and that yeah, that is when I realized what meant the work, what the work that I did in Colombia really meant for me, and how did I do it. Like the mediums that I used were so important to me in that process. Yeah.
So with your experience with going to school and university, would you recommend? 'Cause I know art is very subjective. Like you don't necessarily have to go to school to become an artist, but would you recommend, like, say, a younger student to go to university to study, or would you say, oh, it's not worth it, or
No, it's completely worth it. I really don't trust people that say you shouldn't go to school. I think there are experiences there that are not comparable to anything that you're going to get in life, especially at the age that you're in college. I think it's very important at that age to uh, meet people that are interested in what you are interested, like your people, like the people that you are going to maybe get along for the rest of your life. It is very important to socialize your work, to get critiqued, to get brutal critiques, and understand that you have a space between you and your work. Understand that, have a thick skin. Um, of course, understanding that there will be disagreements with your teachers, and understand that, and also make an introspection about it, like understand why are you so angry about it, and all that helps a lot. And in I understand that maybe in the US it's not that easy to go to art school, but if you can, you should do it. And if not, you should search for a group or something where to share your ideas and have critiques and all of that, because that's basically what college is, you know. But if you are in any other country where you can have um, go to university and such, yeah, you should definitely do it. If you don't like it, just okay, really, just leave. It's okay. But I would say try it for sure. Yeah,
yeah, the university, I mean, going to school in the US is like super expensive. Like
yeah.
I took
Especially
a
art school, right?
oh yeah, yeah, I mean, and they're kind of closing down too. They're not as like, you know,
Ah,
um big as it used to, obviously because of the industry. But I remember, I did go to community college and I took like a life drawing class. And
mhm.
I think, school's not for everyone. Like I like aspects of
True.
school, but I like the structure of having assignments and having like being held accountable for your work. I think that's important. Like you said, it's like
Mhm.
it teaches you to kind of like, okay, think outside the box, and not everything's going to be so, I don't know, like life isn't easy, and you're gonna have to deal with different personalities and people telling
Yeah.
you what to do. And I think that's what you kind of learn
Yeah.
in going to
Yeah,
school.
I see a lot of young people being very touchy-feely about their own stuff, and I wonder how they would react to like a normal socializing of your work in university. It's like they would destroy you, and you will have just to stand there and defend yourself, or just think about it, like, okay, you're right. Yeah, this is not that good, and that's it, and move on. And yeah, you have to be a little bit detached, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely learned to detach myself, even with like working with clients and what they when they want something that I
Yeah,
don't necessarily want to do, but it's like, okay, well they're paying me, so I guess I have to do it. And
wow.
like just
Yeah.
being happy
Yeah,
with
with
that.
your personal work, yeah, for sure. It's you've got to you have to have a personal thing going on. But yeah, with commercial work, you have to say a little bit more impersonal. Yeah.
So what's the most like satisfying aspect of doing like book covers or like working with publishers and all that stuff?
It is wild because, of course, you always like to see your things printed, right? You don't want to think that your stuff it's going to be for a fleeting second there and just disappear, like in social media. And that has made me also like distance myself a little bit of social media. The thing is that it is always an honor to grace the cover of people that have been working on their stories for so long, and people that have has put a lot of effort and all their hearts into their stories and their writing. And it's a little bit daunting, I have to say, because it means a lot to them, of course, and you're like, okay, I hope they really like what I did. But at the same time, it's really rewarding because you stay in their stories, in their careers forever. And if the cover is well received, a lot of people get drawn to that story, and that means a lot to the author and of course to the publishing houses. But mostly, I think about the authors, yeah, and how what does that mean to their stories and the worlds that they spend so much time developing for years and years, obsessed, because I know that writers are obsessed with something and they just spend years on something. So it is daunting but rewarding, and it's nice to be on the shelves of people for many, many years. And yeah, to have the impact, to have an impact on a career of an writer, it's always very nice. Also, there's this kind of collector's editions that it is like a work of art in itself, like the object. So it feels really rewarding to just be part of that, because you make part of a really beautiful book with people that take care the book binding, that they treat that process as an art itself. So yeah, just being part of that, it's amazing. Those are like the best clients ever, being part of the art object for collectors. It's really, really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I know because I've done a few book covers, and what's more challenging to you? Because I know a writer, they kind of have a vision in their head how certain characters look like, how certain things are supposed to be. What's more challenging, doing a book cover or doing an album cover, like music versus words, I guess, or
Oh, music is really easy because most times, yeah, I haven't had like a real serious music album cover career at all. So when someone that makes music contacts me, they just want me to do whatever they want, like whatever I want. Sorry, totally the opposite. Whatever I want. So it is like, yeah, you're practically paying me for doing something myself, like that I would do in my spare time. So that's cool. But yeah, with book covers, there are a lot of opinions going on there. You have not only the art director is your friend. He or she is on your side, and you're like one thing in mind. But they have to have the opinion of the editor, of the author, and of a huge marketing team, sales team. And the sales team, they have the final word. And that's it. it doesn't matter if the art director likes it or not, or if they agree or not. You have to just agree and do what they ask of you, because you have to be flashy enough to be read on a bookshelf in, I don't know, Barnes and Noble, in any library around the world. You have to, get the eyes on you. So you have to understand what the sales team has to say, because that's they know what they're doing. Even when you don't understand it in an artistic point, the shelves are brutal, and you have to grab some attention for sure. So yeah, definitely book covers are harder, just because there are a lot of opinions going on, a lot of revisions with a lot of opinions, and but they are they are rewarding, really rewarding, but they can be really hard, or they can be really really easy also. It's like, it depends on the book.
Yeah, I guess, it depends on also just like
The market.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a certain graphic design element too, because do you lay out the text on top of the books as well, or does someone?
Yeah, I know that's people that are really, they are really talented with that. I am a graphic designer, but I never felt as one, and I've never done anything related to graphic design. I mean, yeah, but I am just not good. Like, if a lot of independent authors ask me if I do the titles, and I'm like, no, I cannot do that. No, I would do something very subpar to what is going on in the industry nowadays. Yeah, because that's an art itself, for sure.
Yeah, I kind of, I mean, I do it like just because I'm like not great at it. I'm still working on it. It's like a work in progress. Like,
but you have this sensibility, and it's fine. Yeah, I mean, most of the times when there are independent stuff, they obviously don't know where to begin, and if you can obviously help them, that is completely fine. It's just that I just cannot even think about that.
You kind of just want to focus on the art itself. You don't have to think about, okay, where am I going to put this text?
I don't care what they put over it. It's like, I don't know. This is what I give you.
Yeah. So I know you obviously, kind of going back into your process, but I really love your ability to kind of construct these little props in your artwork, and you use like paper mache, and you like do all this cool stuff, and it's so inspiring. I even try to do that on occasion, but I'm just always like, okay, I'm just going to use photos or use my ZBrush or something.
Really must be crazy to do all that stuff. It must be really fun, right? Have you tried to model some stuff for you, like 3D?
Yeah. I mean, I like, see, I don't know how long it takes for you to create something, but I'm just like very impatient. Like, if something doesn't come together within an hour, I get really like, okay, I'm just going to go the easy way out and just do something to kind of create what I want to create. I have like used myself as reference, and I've wore masks, but I don't think I've ever. Maybe I have some pieces with some props that I've used, but like for the most part, I always end up using 3D. But when did you start?
Yeah.
When did you start using, like, kind of come up with the idea to kind of do that, like using props? And
well, I don't really know, and that's a really good question, because I had to think about that. I do remember in graphic design that I had a deadline for doing like a project, that whatever project we wanted, and I don't know what drove me to do a bunch of masks. I was like 20 years old, 19 years old, and I did a bunch of masks. Why? I don't know why. But the teacher said to me, "Oh, this is really good. This is the first time that I see you doing something with drive." He was really mean about it, because I was a slacker for sure. And I did that, and I really felt, and I had so much fun doing it, that I started to sketch stuff that had this kind of, I don't know, mythological creatures going on, or and I really liked the idea of having a human that with a mask is something else. It's something between human or animal, or between human and divine, between human and something else, not only human. And that is actually what masks signify. It's like this threshold between two worlds, and I really like that. And I think that my whole work, it's about that, like all this tension between two worlds. And I do remember that I did stuff here and there, but it was with a prop that I made in 2013 about a Maenad that is one of the followers of Bacchus, of Dionysus. And they have something called Thyrsus. I don't know how to say it in English, but Thyrsus. And it's like a staff
Okay.
with a bunch of branches, and I think this cone of the pines in the middle. And I got obsessed with it, and they had a crown also with branches too, and a snake. And I got obsessed for like a lot of months about that, and I started to read a lot of about the Maenads, and what they did, and the trance that they felt when they were in this ritual. And funnily enough, I ended up in a Greek exhibition in Bogota at that time. And I said, okay, this is the destiny. Destiny wanted me to be here and see this. This
Yeah.
called something synchronicity. When you're looking for something and you start finding it everywhere. Of course, it is you being obsessed with something and seeing it everywhere. It is not like the world bringing you stuff, but you seeing everything.
Yeah.
And when I saw these vases, these Greek vases and amphoras, and all this Greek art, that I decided to make that image of this woman in trance, and with the crown, and the hair flowing. And I said to myself, I want to do more props. And then the following years, I did a bunch of crowns, a bunch of masks, and I stopped for a while. And now I have a whole sketchbook dedicated to masks and props. So hopefully I can make that happen in the following years, because I want to take my personal stuff into that direction. I have to say, it's something that really fulfills me. I really like it. It
Yeah,
means a lot.
that would be a cool thing to have, like, if you actually make the mask like its own artwork, and then you can have like a exhibition just like showing all the pieces that
Oh,
you've done.
it's
That's kind of cool.
cool. I never thought that anything that I made had that quality, but every time that I make a new mask, I try to make it really sturdy and like a real thing, not only for a photo. That is what I thought about always. Oh, it has to look good for the photo. It doesn't matter what happens next. But every time that I make new stuff, I make it better, and yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I've seen some of your works in progress and how you build them, and I'm like super impressed, like the quality. And that's like, see, again, that's like I don't think I have the foresight to plan ahead and make because I would like halfway through I'd be like, oh, this looks like crap. I'm just gonna like do something else. But yeah, I envy
Yeah,
you.
we all have different processes for sure. When you do something that in the moment very flowy, that also is great, and I really admire that, because I'm very methodical, and I don't really like that about myself. But yeah, that's how I work. Yeah.
So we've all, we all start out as traditional artists drawing, painting. And then, I chose the path of digital artwork and doing that. Do you ever feel like being a digital artist, you're inferior to like a traditional like painter or, artist or something like that?
No, never. I mean, this is what I chose, and this is how I have much more fun. So why would I feel bad about it? This is what I really enjoy. This is how I really enjoy doing stuff. And I really like photography, and I really like collecting photos of places and things. Many people don't know about this, but every time that I see a picture of images that like finished artworks, every photo, I know where I took them, what happened at that time, what surrounded that object or that plant or that element, or how I did that texture. And all of that has a lot of story from different places, times of my life. And that means a lot to me. And I have a lot of fun with it. And every time when I'm making something new, when I take photos from my personal archive, it is like going down memory lane yeah, all the time, again and again. Like, okay, I have to go to back in 2016 when I went to this place, and I do remember what happened at the time, but this flower is perfect for this, so I will use it. It means a lot to me. That process is everything to me. I don't know what it would mean. I mean, I know there are a lot of traditional artists take their own references, but most of them take references from the internet or whatever archive, photographic archive they can, of quality that they can find. But to me, this is very personal. It's me taking pictures everywhere I go. And then I don't know when I'm using them. And when they find their time and place to happen, it's always like a time to remember and put them there. And this is my way of doing stuff. I don't ever feel like it's inferior or superior to anything else.
Yeah, I think maybe with AI coming out and being a digital tool, there's a lot of, takes from traditional artists saying like, I think they've always felt like digital art was in a form cheating, I
Yeah,
guess. But at the same
yeah.
time, even traditional artists, they use references, they use photos, they use, I mean, dating back hundreds of years, they've used like, projecting or ways to project like and so they can scale their foot. So there's like, I guess that's cheating too, but yeah, I'm kind of like, for me, art, I think
It's
is
actually for me. Yeah.
what?
You said cheating? No, no, I mean 3D and stuff, or taking other pictures. Of course not. I think that people that are traditional artists that thought that, because that has changed a lot. Also,
Yeah,
they. I mean, I studied in a university in an art in an art school where there are a bunch of really crazy kids doing crazy stuff with everything they found. That's why I never felt that what I did had any rules, because the thing was experimenting. And when I encountered with when I saw these communities, for example, in DeviantArt in the 2000s, I didn't understand what they were talking about. Like, oh, why are they using photos? And I was like, I don't understand. In my art school, everybody uses everything, and yeah, all the time at once. So yeah, it's like I yeah, I never understood this purist outlook on art. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm the same way. I think everybody has their strengths,
Yeah,
and whatever
what
tools
they
you
really
use.
enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I want to get back into more drawing and painting, but I've been so out of practice that it's like it's going to be an uphill battle, but I just want to take a break from staring at a computer screen for
Also, yeah,
hours and just
I
sort
want
of
to
like,
get into crafting because of that also. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But last question. I kind of ask all my guests this same question, but are there any like dream projects that you have yet to work on? And what would you want to work on if you had a choice?
Yeah, that was also a kind of hard question. I would love to every year have like be invited to make a collector's book thing. To me, that is like the best projects, the best clients, the best thing going on, because they let you do anything and they trust everything that you do, everything in your aesthetic, and then you end up being into a art object that is so amazing to have. So yeah, to me it's that collector's books. Why not? Yeah. Anything else? It would be doing my own stuff with the sketches that I still have waiting for me. Having more energy to make them happen. Energy and time. And why not? When I feel good enough, make my own book. Why not? Yeah, I think it's kind of time to, and it's something that I have thought a lot. But yeah, I think that I'm still going into a lot of directions at the same time. So yeah, that is what I'm thinking right now.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
I'm going to be leaving a link to all your social stuff like below the video, so people can check your work out. And of course, I'm going to kind of add your images throughout this interview too. If people don't know, check out Marcela's work. She's amazing. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you can, like and subscribe. Appreciate it. Any kind of shares would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, again, thank you, Marcela. And
Thank you for having me.